What's up everyone, Ben with the BTC Sessions here, and this is your daily session.
Hodl that Bitcoin.
As you can tell, I'm still away from home. I'm still at Xcaret, which is in Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. And yeah, so I'm just kind of pumping out videos where I can, but here we go. It'll be a short one today, but thank you guys so much for watching anyways. First, before we get into everything, I do want to give a big shout out to my official sponsor of the show, first one I've ever had, first one I've ever trusted, and that is Ledn.io. There you can go to their website and you can use Bitcoin as collateral to back a Canadian dollar loan. So how does it work? You can go to their website and you can even just use a slider to check out how much Bitcoin you would need for a particular loan. But most loans themselves are funded within 24 hours. And what I mean is approved and funded into your bank account within 24 hours. I tried it the other day and it worked like a charm. 24 hours later, the application process took about 2 minutes and the funds were in my bank account the next day. So pretty cool. Use cases that I see is maybe you have an unexpected expense, but you're worried about selling your Bitcoin because the volatility, you don't want the risk of it going up and you not being able to buy it back. So this is an instance where you can get your hands on dollars without having to sell your Bitcoin, because your Bitcoin goes to a dedicated address. You can check it on the blockchain the entire time and you don't have to worry about it being re-lent out or anything. It stays in that address the entire time and you can audit it in real time. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, do check them out. Again, Mauricio from Ledn, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. I really do appreciate it. But let's move on. So crypto exchange BitHumb has been hacked again. This time it looks like they've lost about $19 million, which is a combination of EOS and XRP that has been taken from their hot wallets. Now, this is a little bit different because it came from insiders, and they've apologized and said that they're upgrading their practices because they would always scrutinize obviously what customers were doing and outsiders, but they never had a good security policy for insiders, I guess. They didn't target their own employees. Now, interestingly enough, they've just gone through a round of layoffs. So could this be a disgruntled former employee that kind of bided his time near the end? I don't know, I guess we'll find out, but not a particularly good look for BitHumb. And again, it just beckons to the fact that, guys, it's not your keys, not your coins. If you have it on an exchange, consider it at risk. I realize some of you are actively trading, but besides that, get it into your own custody, because places like BitHumb, any online exchange, it's a honeypot. It's the same amount of effort and the same amount of time for somebody to hack an individual as it is to hack an exchange. Which do you think they're gonna go for first? Probably the exchange with large amounts of money sitting on it. So get it into your own custody. Learn about proper security. Yes, let's move on from there. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Now, again, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, but I do find it interesting watching some of these other coins and how they behave based on their monetary policy. And Litecoin is a great example of basically the exact same monetary policy in action. So Litecoin, like Bitcoin, reduces the supply of new coins onto the market every 4 years. With Bitcoin, that supply halving comes next in 2020. It was previously in 2016 and 2012. Litecoin is a little bit different. Litecoin's halving is actually happening this year in around August of 2019. Now, what has happened to the Litecoin price this year? Well, in the first quarter, it's up 100%. It started the year around $30 and it's sitting above 60 as of the time of recording this video. It's been up as high as 64, a bit over $64. Now, I went back and I looked historically at what had happened with Litecoin pre-halving last time, and it did get a huge speculative pump. Now, it was pretty steady through the beginning of the year last time around, but there was this huge kind of spike that happened about a month prior to the halving. Obviously just speculation and FOMO, but it happened a month prior to the halving, and at the time I think it roughly 3x'd So it tripled. Now it obviously came back down from there and normalized, but there was a huge crazy spike that came from speculators. Now, will it happen again this time? I don't know, it depends. I do find it interesting that it had such a steady uptick over the first quarter of the year. And it has been pretty much sustained. Like, it hasn't had too many crazy pullbacks from there. So I do find that interesting. Is that a symptom of people realizing what happened last time and maybe speculating it's gonna happen again? Who knows? It's anybody's guess with these things. But it will be very interesting to see if that spike happens again a month prior to halving this time around. If it does, then you can maybe start to extrapolate and see if that will happen again with Bitcoin. Last time with Bitcoin, it happened as well. I remember it went from around 400 to 700. It had this little blip and came right back down. So I guess we'll see, but I am very interested to watch this. Now, do I think Litecoin long-term is a good buy? For myself, long-term, absolutely not. If somebody's rolling the dice, maybe, but I don't see the value proposition there, because it is basically the same as Bitcoin, and Bitcoin does Bitcoin better, in my opinion. If you're rolling the dice, then maybe have fun, but for me, it's just fun to watch. And finally here, I want to dive into this story. This is about the municipality of Innisfil in Ontario, and they're partnering with a company called Coinberry to allow residents to pay their property taxes in Bitcoin, which, on its head, I really think it's a cool story, but I don't mean to burst anybody's bubble, and I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
But Bull Bitcoin already allows you to pay a whole shitload of taxes if that's what you want to do with your crypto. I just looked up a handful of major cities, so Vancouver, and it's not just property taxes, I'm talking about all kinds of taxes. I looked up Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal. All of those you can pay taxes with Bitcoin if you choose. And lo and behold, also Innisfil is on there. So, sorry, but I mean, kudos to Coinberry, but you know, Bull Bitcoin was kind of already there. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap it there, guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry for the short shows, but oh god, it's so nice out, and I'm just kind of trying to throw out videos where I can. Again, shout out to my sponsor, Ledn.io. Guys, there will be links down below if you want to check it out. They have a promo right now where if you do apply for a loan, and that's something that you need, you'll get a $50 worth of Bitcoin credit in your account. But yeah, check that out down below. Thank you again, Mauricio and Ledn, for sponsoring the show. And I'll see you guys next time for your daily session.